think I will ask God why for the rest of my life. And never will I come to understand it. Even if God himself came in front of me and told me the reason, I don't think I would accept it. Some loves are too hard to bear. And with great love comes great pain. And with great loss comes the greatest pain of all. If love could have saved you.
A 30-year-old restaurant owner in Los Angeles, successful, beloved by her community, building a life she fought hard to create. And in one moment, over jealousy in a man, she's dead, stabbed multiple times, one blow straight to her heart. But here's what makes this case even more shocking. The woman who killed her was never charged, not arrested, not prosecuted. She walked away free while a family mourns and a community demands answers. This is the story of Joeline Turton and what happens when envy becomes lethal. Have you ever dealt with someone whose jealousy became dangerous?
Do not let a man be the reason why you lose your life. The story of Joeline Turton is so sad. She was successful. She was gorgeous. She had so much more life ahead of her. And at 30 years old, she lost her life over a fight over a man, a piece of a man. Her cousin had got online and said that the DA ruled that there's no case. They're not going to pursue the young lady that unalived her because Jolene came to her house to fight. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all, back in my younger days, I used to be the same way. I'm ready to pull up when, where, how, whatever the case may be. Glory be to God that I made it through some crazy situations.
Joeline Turton was 30 years old when she died. She was a proud Belizean woman who had come to the United States carrying dreams that many immigrants share, the hope of building something meaningful, something lasting. And she did exactly that. Joeline owned Pepper's Jamaican and Belize Cuisine, a restaurant in Los Angeles that quickly became more than just a place to eat. It was a gathering spot, a piece of home for people who miss the flavors of the Caribbean, and a testament to Joline's determination. The food was authentic. The atmosphere was warm. Customers weren't just patrons. They became friends, regulars who came back week after week. Joeline poured everything into that restaurant. She worked long hours, perfected recipes, made sure every guest felt welcomed. For her, this wasn't just business. It was her identity, her contribution, proof that she had made it. Beyond the restaurant, Joeline had a personal life she valued. She was in a relationship with a boyfriend she cared about. She had friends, family who supported her journey, and a reputation in the community as someone who worked hard and didn't cut corners. People respected her because she earned it. But success has a way of attracting attention, and not all of it is positive. There was another woman in Joline's life, someone who watched what Joeline had built with growing resentment. The details of how they knew each other aren't entirely clear, but what is clear is this. The woman was jealous. Jealous of Joline's thriving business, jealous of the respect she commanded, and jealous of her boyfriend. This wasn't a one-time issue. The harassment was ongoing. The woman made negative comments, tried to interfere with Joline's business, and made it known that she wanted what Joeline had, including the man in her life. She didn't hide her intentions. She was open about trying to take Joline's boyfriend, undermining her at every turn, creating conflict wherever she could. For Joeline, this was intolerable. She had worked too hard to let someone tear down what she built. She wasn't the type to ignore disrespect or let someone walk all over her. When you fought to create something from nothing, you protected fiercely. And Joeline was fierce. The tension between these two women escalated over time. Words were exchanged. Threats were made. The hostility wasn't hidden. It was out in the open. And people around them knew there was bad blood. This wasn't going to end quietly. Then came the day everything fell apart. Joeline made a decision. She was done with the provocations, done with the threats, done with this woman disrespecting her and trying to steal her life piece by piece. She decided to confront her directly, not over the phone, not through messages, face to face. Joeline went to the woman's location, near her home. The intention was clear. This was going to be a physical fight. Fists, a showdown. Joeline wanted to settle this the old-fashioned way, to make it clear that she wasn't backing down. When Joeline arrived, the confrontation began. Both women were ready to fight. But what Joeline didn't know, what she couldn't have anticipated, was that the other woman had a knife. The fight turned violent fast. The other woman pulled the blade and attacked. Joeline was stabbed multiple times. One of those strikes hit her directly in the heart. There was no time for help, no chance for emergency responders to save her. Joeline Turton died right there, in the street, over jealousy and pride, and a man who wasn't worth either woman's life. A woman who had built a successful restaurant, who had created a space for her community, who had dreams and plans and people who loved her, gone in seconds. After Joeline's death, her family was shattered. They had lost someone irreplaceable, someone who represented hope and hard work and everything you're supposed to achieve when you come to a new country looking for a better life. The grief was overwhelming. But what came next added insult to that grief. The Los Angeles District Attorney's Office reviewed the case. They looked at the circumstances, the evidence, the statements from both sides. And then they made a decision that stunned Joeline's family and everyone who knew her story. No charges would be filed against the woman who stabbed Joeline. The reasoning? Both women had opportunities to avoid the fight. Joeline had gone to the other woman's location. She had initiated the confrontation. In the eyes of the law, this changed everything. The district attorney's office determined that the woman who stabbed Joeline had acted in self-defense, or at the very least, that this was a case of mutual combat, where both parties were willing participants. So the woman who killed Joeline walked free. No trial, no conviction, no prison sentence. Joeline's family was devastated all over again. They spoke out publicly, condemning the violence and expressing their anguish. They emphasized the dangers of jealousy, of letting conflict escalate to the point of no return. They warned others not to let pride or provocation lead them down the same path. But their warnings couldn't bring Joeline back.
But she was not shot, because that's been a rumor that's been going around that she's been shot. It was not shot. She was stabbed.
Several times.
Several times.
Any idea who may have done something like this?
Yeah, we have an idea of the person who did this. But like I said, it's an ongoing case. But I will say that you know who you are. She's still roaming around the streets. She's still going around free, calling people, talking mess. It's been getting back to us. We've been hearing different things. We know, and it's okay. It's not okay, but it's okay because we believe in a higher power. There's a mighty God that sees everything. He sit high and he sit low. Yeah. No weapon formed against our family will ever prosper. And death have no power either, because Jesus already conquered death. Right. So that's the same thing with Joe. She conquered it already too. Her soul is in the kingdom. She's at peace. So right now, opposition, she's not at peace with herself.
She is just the beautifulest. She doesn't bring harm to nobody. She always a peaceful person. She tried to bring my family together. She always, from she's a little girl, want to always do a family reunion with families, because everybody have ups and downs in family, and she's always the person trying to bring family together. She's just a wonderful soul.
She's the reason why this restaurant exists.
Exactly.
Why we kept it going for so long. She just wanted to push Pepper so bad, and like have everybody in the community come out and eat and get together and make sure that the community is good. Like, Joe was just so sweet. Like, that was my everyday.
Still can't believe it up to now that my daughter's life has ended up foolishness.
Premature deaths, like, we gotta stop, you guys, for real, because when it's a light like that, we just can't let provoking energies get to us, like how, I'm sure she probably felt it, like, because my family is big on that, and this is a lesson for everybody, I hope, like, for us to just be more vigilant. And also I wanted to put out there, you asked the question earlier, like somewhat of what happened on the scene. I am aware that the officers, the people that came for her that day, I'm aware that they moved her body. And I know, like, usually you're not supposed to, whatever, but they did move her body, and pressure wasn't allowed to be put on the wounds. So we're also aware of her bleeding out like that. So yeah, we have a concern with that as well. Inside
human
and
being, inside out, that you could think about. She is just, a happy-going girl, and if she met you, she would think that this girl knew me a long time ago. That's the kind of person Jolene is. She don't bring harm to nobody. She's trying to make peace.
Joeline Turton was more than just a beautiful face. She was a visionary, a proud entrepreneur, actress, and the heart behind Pepper's Jamaican Belize Cuisine. She lit up every room with her energy and inspired women and children to dream bigger. She was a fighter, a giver, a creator, and above all, a mother whose love had no limits. Her legacy lives on through every life she touched, every soul she uplifted, and every bold move she made in a world that could not dim her light. Jolene, Joe, will live on. Tessa, people know her for different things. She was a beautiful soul to many, and we just want to remember her for the good and just for who she really was. Thank you.
She may have been.
Jealousy and hate.
Jealousy, envy, hate, real hate. There's no other form of hate. I think the action shows hate, especially with it being stab wound. That's a level of hate to actually multiple stab wounds. It wasn't even just like one stab or a slice. It was other intent behind it. That's a built-up hate, jealousy.
Prayer circle. Really would invite everyone to just come out and support Joe and our family. That would be nice. Yeah, guys, cups of peppers, support, be respectful, and
love.
Yeah.
It's July 27th, 7 p.m. at Manhattan Beach. And it's a prayer circle, and like what my cousin said, we letting off the lantern and just love and honor and celebrate a beautiful life, soul that was here on Mother Earth and will forever live on, because, we all have a day. We just don't know when and how. And, let us just do better as a people, you guys. You never know what people going through, what people facing. And, we don't want to put out the message of violence or anything like that in my family. This could have been anybody, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, some of us, we work off of emotions or, our anger, or just, like I said, it's a lot of provoking energies right now going on in our atmosphere. It's a lot going on in the world. So just, you guys, let's think twice, let's think more. We have more to lose, if anything, you know what I mean? And Jolene had a lot to lose. She wasn't just one of these females walking around and didn't have nothing going on for herself. She was somebody who helped put people on. So we want that to be something that we shed light on. And, we just pray that with this touch the community. If you come with love, peace, and, we would love for other friends of hers to come and share stories, and let's laugh and, love on each other in this time. And that's all Jolene would want.
This case forces us to confront some uncomfortable truths about conflict, jealousy, and the choices we make when we feel disrespected. First, there's a cost of pride. Joeline felt she had every right to confront the woman who was harassing her, threatening her relationship, and disrespecting everything she had built. And emotionally, morally, many people would agree with her. But being right doesn't protect you from consequences. Sometimes walking away, even when it feels like weakness, even when it burns, is the only choice that keeps you alive. Your pride isn't worth your life. Second, jealousy is a warning sign we ignore our own risk. When someone's envy of your success turns into harassment, threats, and open hostility, that's not normal rivalry. That's dangerous. People who resent what you have can become unpredictable. Distance isn't cowardice. It's protection. Joeline kept engaging with someone whose jealousy had clearly crossed into dangerous territory. She couldn't have known it would end this way, but the red flags were there. Third, the legal system doesn't care about who started it or who deserves sympathy. It cares about actions and locations and who can claim self-defense. When you go to someone else's space to fight them, you give up legal ground. The law sees you as the aggressor, no matter how much you've been provoked. Joline's decision to go to that woman's location fundamentally changed how the justice system viewed her death. It's cold, it's harsh, but it's reality. And finally, nothing, no argument, no relationship, no disrespect is worth dying over. Joeline had everything going for her. A successful business, a community that loved her, a future full of possibilities. All of that ended because she chose confrontation over walking away. The man they fought over, he's still alive. The restaurant, it's gone. Joline's dreams, her legacy, her presence in this world, all of it lost over a conflict that could have been avoided. Joeline Turton's story is a tragedy on every level. A hard-working woman who built something beautiful, destroyed by jealousy and violence. A family left without answers, without justice, without their loved one. A legal system that prioritizes technicalities over moral clarity. Could this have been avoided? Absolutely. If Joeline had walked away. If the other woman had dealt with her jealousy differently. If either of them had chosen life over pride. But they didn't, and now one woman is dead while the other lives of what happened. Jealousy kills. Not metaphorically. Not eventually. It kills quickly, violently, and permanently. And it leaves destruction in its wake that no court verdict can fix. This case shows how quickly things can go wrong. What state or country are you watching from? Have you seen jealousy turn violent where you live? Drop your location and thoughts below. If this story made you think twice about confrontation, make sure you're subscribed to our channel. We bring you real stories with real lessons every week. Hit that like button if you believe Joeline deserved justice, and share this video with someone who needs to hear this message. Joeline Turton deserved better. She deserved to grow old, to watch her business thrive, to live the life she worked so hard to create. Instead, she's a cautionary tale about the deadly cost of pride and jealousy. Remember her name, remember her story, and remember that walking away is always an option, even when it doesn't feel like one.